The opening scene features a masterminded robber, Diabolik, who is seen climbing a highly secured jewel company called Armen. His goal is to steal the most valuable jewelry called Armen Crown, renowned for its pure gold and precious gemstones. There is only one security guard on duty, while the rest of them are playing cards in their office. Diabolik sneaks into the building through the window, neutralizes the only patrolling guard, and breaks into the room where the crown is preserved. His intrusion triggers an alarm, alerting all the guards in the office. They rush to inspect the matter, but aren't able to hold the door because the keyhole has been blocked by Diabolik from inside. After numerous failed attempts, the guards resort to using explosives to blow up the door. As they prepare to do so, Diabolik gets enough time to cut through the steel bars guarding the crown. By the time guards break into the room, Diabolik has escaped through the window using his paraglider with the crown in his possession. He then lands on a car driven by his girlfriend Eva, and the two get away. And his dad thought he was going to be a loser when he said he wanted to take up paragliding. The following evening, the Armen Company holds a jewel presenting show, which is attended by a lot of aristocrats. The show features a dance performance in which 5 dancers show up on the stage wearing precious Armen jewels and advertising them. Nothing sells diamonds like twerking. In the meantime, several police officers are stationed around the venue in order to prevent any kind of robbery. But amidst the performance, the lights suddenly go off. In the darkness, one of the police officers asks the dancers to accompany him, claiming that he will lead them to a secure room. Soon after, the girls are taken to a small compartment, which turns out to be the cargo of a truck. The police officer locks the girls inside the cargo and drives the truck away. In an unexpected turn of events, the officer is revealed to be none other than Diabolik in disguise. Upon driving to a certain distance, he has the girls take off the jewelry from their bodies before abandoning them in the middle of the street. The girls then make their way to a nearby bar, looking for the phone to make a call. However, a man starts harassing one of the dancers, prompting them to reveal their true identity. Turns out that the girls are actually undercover agents assigned to bait Diabolik. The leader of the group, Agent Burov, then uses the bar's telephone to call Inspector Gingko, a manager of the case who seems to have been pursuing Diabolik for a long time. She reports that the job is done, indicating that the whole show was Ginko's plan to capture the crime master. Ginko then reveals to his co-worker, Palmer, that he had dipped the Armen jewels in a traceable liquid, which is easy to track. Meanwhile, Diabolik and his girlfriend drive towards their secret hideout located within a stone mountain. Once there, they arrange the loot they've collected, while also celebrating their success over a drink. Their moment eventually takes a romantic turn, and they end up sharing a kiss. Now that they have amassed enough wealth, Eva suggests that they take a holiday and spend some quality time together. However, Diabolik declines, and instead shares his plan for their next heist. Greedy, greedy boy. Simultaneously, the police team, with the help of their tracking device, arrives beside the mountain, but they see no sign of any path from there. Ginko analyzes the area thoroughly and speculates that the culprits are inside the mountain. He then instructs his men to set up dynamite to blow up the stone wall. True to his assumption, they discover a tunnel that leads them deeper into the mountain. Inside, Diabolik and Eva notice them via CCTV footage, so they decide to escape, leaving all of their loot behind. The duo then takes a secret passage that leads them out to the other side of the mountain. Soon after, Ginko and his men reach the hideout and discover the escape route, prompting them to chase the couple. During their escape, Eva's foot accidentally gets stuck between some rocks. She calls for her boyfriend for help, but Diabolik makes a selfish decision to prioritize his own safety. As a result, he continues to run, abandoning her. Despite this, Eva has no time to react, so she desperately tries to free her leg. By the time she manages to do so, the police officers are already closing in. Realizing that she doesn't have enough time to escape, she climbs onto a cliff and jumps into the water. In the aftermath, the police investigate the hideout and discover a collection of many valuable items, including rare paintings, gold, jewelry, and gemstones. Can you believe? Not an NFT in sight. In addition, Ginko finds a blueprint of an old abandoned industrial complex on the outskirts of Clairville. Suspecting it to be another hideout of Diabolik, he decides to check it out. Upon reaching there, Ginko and his officers split up to inspect the area. During this, one of the officers inadvertently uncovers a secret door leading them to the basement. As they turn on the lights, they learn that it's the place where Diabolik manufactures face masks for his missions. Despite the tempting findings, Ginko forbids his team from tampering with any items, as he knows that Diabolik will return here soon. In the next scene, we are introduced to Duchess of Wallenberg, Altia, who is seen arriving in Clairville. It appears that she was supposed to be received by Ginko at the airport, but the inspector sent someone else. Displeased, Altia heads straight to the police station and meets Ginko, who turns out to be her lover. As they converse, she suggests that they make their relationship public, but Ginko insists on postponing it until he fulfills his lifelong ambition of capturing the elusive thief. Altia agrees, but she requests his presence at her upcoming upcoming party in order to safeguard her precious black griffin necklace. Later that night, Diabolik heads to his industrial complex hideout, but before entering, he overhears some police officers chatting inside. It appears that the officers are changing shifts, with Agent Roller now assuming the night duty. Later, while Agent Roller is alone, Diabolik appears at the front door. Seeing this, Roller frantically opens fire, but the target he's hitting is just a mirror, reflecting Diabolik's image. The sound of gunshots alerts the other police officers guarding outside the building, prompting them to rush inside. Once there, they find Roller lying down unconscious on the floor, and the mask printing machine has been taken away by Diabolik. The incident is a big letdown for Ginko, but he still doesn't give up. Ginko left a single officer on duty and didn't even tell him to hide. Ginko is an idiot. The next day, Ginko is summoned to the office of the Minister of Justice to discuss their next move. In the midst of their conversation, they receive a call from Eva, who proposes a deal. She will help them catch Diabolik in exchange for her safe passage abroad. She provides them with 30 minutes of time to think and decide. The minister orders the inspector to cooperate with Eva, emphasizing that their main target is Diabolik. Regardless, Ginko seems to have something else on his mind. As soon as he walks out of the minister's office, he reveals his plan to his team. He'll stall Eva on the call and buy them enough time to trace her location. Exactly 30 minutes later, Eva calls Ginko, who then tries to extend the conversation as much as he can. Simultaneously, his team members track her down and head towards the location that turns out to be a phone booth. When Eva notices the approaching officers, she cleverly escapes through a manhole right beneath the booth, leaving the officers empty-handed. The old manhole trick always fools the squad. Meanwhile, at Diabolik's hideout, a team of police led by Sergeant Elena are examining the loot. During this, the sergeant finds out that one of the bracelets is missing from the jewel set. She immediately reports it to Ginko, who suspects that it's been taken by Eva and orders his men to trace it. His suspicion turns out to be correct, as the bracelet is seen in Eva's hand. Shortly after, Agent Roller manages to locate her and holds her at gunpoint, but when he tries to apprehend her, she skillfully knocks him down, seizes his gun, and escapes in his vehicle. Moments later, Palmer arrives with reinforcements, only to find Roller lying down on the ground like earlier. Much to their dismay, Roller has taken off the bracelet from Eva's hand, making her untraceable. After this incident, he is forbidden from any more field visits and is instructed to assist Sergeant Elena in the evidence examination department. On the other hand, Ginko faces reprimand from the minister for going beyond his order. Once more, he orders the inspector to collaborate with Eva, but this time under a threat of dismissal. Left with no other choice, Ginko agrees and relays the message to Eva via newspaper. She then arranges a meeting atop the lighthouse the same evening. As they meet, Eva says that she's heartbroken after being abandoned by Diabolik, and she now wants revenge. She then shares her plan. She claims that Diabolik will return to get his loot back. Firstly, she asks the inspector to relay information to the underworld regarding the police transferring the loot to a safe house. Eva then proposes using an armored van as a decoy to lure Diabolik, while the real treasure will be transported in an ordinary van. In order to make it appear more convincing, she asks Ginko to assign an armed force to guard the armored car. Following this, she advises him to lure Diabolik into a tunnel where he can be surrounded and captured. If Ginko doesn't realize this is a ploy, he's the dumbest cop in movie history. Ginko puts this plan into action from the very next day. He hires an undercover agent to spread the information to the underworlds so that the message will reach Diabolik. Amidst all of this, Ginko also goes to meet Altia with the sad news that he won't be present at her party because he'll be executing his master plan on the same day. However, he does assure her that he will dispatch the best officer in Clairville for her protection. The long-awaited day arrives. Altia has hired the best makeup artist in town to help her get ready for the function. Simultaneously, a chief sergeant gathers a number of special forces and briefs them on the mission. When he asks for an individual to drive the van with real treasure, Roller volunteers to do so. Sergeant Elena tries to stop him because there's a high chance that he might end up face-to-face with Diabolik. However, the latter is determined to rectify his previous mistakes and prove his capability. Following this, the ordinary van is loaded with all the valuables, and preparations are made for departure. On Ginko's signal, the armored police van departs from the hideout with a lot of guards surrounding it. Shortly after their departure, Roller also drives out of the hideout and heads towards the opposite direction. The police-guarded van soon enters a tunnel, but unlike their plan, they find themselves trapped inside it. They then notice a mysterious figure emerging from the tunnel wall, prompting them to hold it at gunpoint. But upon closer inspection, the figure turns out to be a mere mannequin. Mannequin. Mannequins are hot. Meanwhile, at the party, Altia goes to get her precious necklace from her closet, but it has already been stolen. In a surprise surprising turn of events, Roller veers off the highway onto a secret forest way. Shortly after, he arrives at a predetermined rendezvous point where he meets Eva. Here, it's revealed that the latter disguised herself as Altia's makeup artist and stole her Duchess's black griffin necklace. Moreover, Roller also removes the face mask, revealing himself to be none other than Diabolik. At this point, all the revelations are finally unveiled. It turns out that this was all part of Diabolik's intricate scheme from the beginning. He orchestrated events to deceive Ginko by deliberately abandoning Eva and showcasing betrayal to incite suspicion. Eva's jumping into the water and escaping through a secret passage underwater was also a calculated move in the grand plan. Furthermore, Diabolik had killed the real Roller during their confrontation in the industrial complex hideout. He then created a copy of Roller's face and assumed his role ever since then. Back in the present, the couple's reunion is cut short when they're held at gunpoint by Alina, who is revealed to have been hiding in the van's trunk. She demands that they freeze, but when Diabolik refuses, she opens fire, causing him to be injured. Seeing this, Eva distracts Alina, which buys enough time for Diabolik to attack her from behind. With this, the couple ultimately leaves the city with all the valuable treasures in possession. On the contrary, Ginko, our resident dumbass, grapples with his failure to apprehend the criminals and protect Altia's necklace. Despite being overwhelmed with guilt, he goes to see Altia for one last time in the airport as she is returning home. He can do nothing more than apologize for his mistakes before bidding a final goodbye to her. In the last scene, we see Diabolik and Eva finally enjoying their private vacation in a high-end villa. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.